get people off the internet. We'll see in a second.
Oh, there's something playing in our room.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you can take you home
for a little bit.
Yeah. You want me to write something?
I'm fine. Why is he screaming like that?
Who?
Riley. Is
I
that
didn't
Riley?
even hear him. That's the kids outside.
This thing is only at 480. Why is it doing that? Interesting.
And we don't have the option for something higher?
Yeah, we usually have the option to go up to 720.
Oh, maybe something got switched in that camera when the last time we were at the show.
Well, that doesn't make sense because when we record, we can still record at 1080.
Oh, okay. Well then, no.
Hey, Ethan. Trust no one. What's up? Leah the Village. What's up? Let's see. It's 9:30.
Yeah.
So we could do an hour-long fireside and then jump on with Leah.
Yep.
Call it good.
Mm-hmm.
We got Oreo in the house. We got John Q in the house. Marcine of the Nuclear Village.
Becky.
Robert Heath, what's up, my guy? Sorry for the quality, guys. I don't know what the situation is with our camera, but we figure it's better than nothing. Hey, it's Orion Phoenix.
Why does it have this
Skype Vin and Sori?
Why isn't it not taking up the whole screen? Is it doing that weird thing that you did again?
Yeah, I don't know what the.
Do you remember how to switch that back?
Well, it's the computer. It's not the thingamajig. But you're right. We'll have to make do. What's the topic? The topic is really we're just chilling, y'all. So, there you go. Tina in the house. BM fan in the house. What's up, my guy?
Hey, Ian.
Was watching your corn review.
Oh, you were? You're going to Hell Yeah tomorrow night? Nice.
That is awesome. Thoughts on Talib? What I know now is that she was banned from Israel, but then they're going anyway, I think. I'm not sure.
Thank you, Leah. I think he's the cutest baby ever, too.
See my response to APC? Not yet, brother, but I was actually looking for yours. We've been on kind of a recording binge because we really need to get back to 2-a-days, and life's getting more and more and more and more hectic, so we really wanted to bear down and get some recordings done.
Oh, good, Kellendross. I'm glad you enjoyed the corn thing. We're gonna put out the next piece tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm looking extra cute today.
Ian Aspie of the Village. I'm Deaf Fan. What's good, my G?
No, it's these cheeks. Look. That's for all you cheek squeezers.
I love the Doomed review. Vin got intense. Yeah, the last couple days have been pretty intense for me, topic-wise. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Maiden show was good? I bet it was.
I know, BM Fan. I know. That guy, I was reading a response to Sori. I'm like, this dude blames the Jews for everything. Everything is the Jews' fault. It's unbelievable. You see the public charge change in definition? I don't know what you mean.
Remember that thing that I told you Becky was talking about? Becky, can you explain it again? I can't remember what it was now.
They allowed Rashida to see her family as long as she agreed to not go to BDS events. If I was Rashida, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, BM fan, it's ridiculous.
Oh, Slayer show.
Nobody takes that guy seriously, I don't think. I was actually going to ban him, and then I reached out to Alec, and Alec was like, let him stay because, you know, it's important for people to hear contrary views, and he kind of refutes himself every time he talks, so.
Jack, I'm thinking of doing a video recording of Wilberforce. Is that Wilberforce or
Yeah.
Wilberforce's house for you? Then again, I'm a little bit drunk, so it may or may not happen. Okay.
This was, I think, your best week of reactions on the channel.
Yes,
Good
Becky,
stuff.
that's right. Yeah. Who said
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Thanks, Kellen Joss.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised. I thought we were gonna run into I'm leaving and I hate your channel and get out of here, and I was extremely surprised at the oh, well, you make me happy.
Hi.
I love you. You're a good boy. Ultimate Musings, my man.
Hey.
Overshadow Sean. Little man's getting big. Isn't that
It's so
true?
funny because I was thinking about you today, Ultimate Musings, because I was using my shampoo and I was like, that was so nice that he sent that shampoo. And usually, like you said that you work at a salon, and usually at salon, the salons, the people advertise their work by their own hair. And I was like, he can't do that. So I wonder what he does.
How are you guys doing? I'm okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that whole thing that happened today is, well, that it's been talked about recently, is weighing pretty heavy. The whole the kid that was engaged and then he died because he didn't have insulin. He had bought cheaper insulin so that way he could pay for his wedding, and it's just being in America where that stuff like that happens, where people have to pay outrageous prices for their insulin, is just a very, very, very terrible and frustrating thing.
$1,200.
Oh, is that what it was?
$1,200 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked even more Asian when he first was born. It was pretty weird. He was like, remember we used to call him like the little emperor?
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are still blue though.
I agree with Orion, whatever he's saying. Oh, man. Look at that buff caramel grown man you holding. Oh, man.
Yeah, he's wicked happy. You just have to make sure he has what he needs, and then once he has what he needs, he's good. It's actually a little warm in here, so I'm surprised he's not like reacting negatively to that, but I think he's happy to be on Vin.
Thoughts on the long-form Bernie interview with Rogan? I'm not a Bernie fan for the most part, but that made me understand the man much better. Yeah. It was typical Bernie. He had a lot more numbers this time for Rogan and math, which he didn't have last time when he was debating Hillary. So I think the good part about that interview was he made it sound so simple, and it was very, very matter of fact and made a ton of sense the way that he was talking about healthcare. So if anything, I hope that because a lot of people say that Joe Rogan is a shill for the alt-right, which means that a lot of right-wingers are watching him. And so that means that Bernie, probably for the first time for a lot of people, got a fair hearing. So from that perspective, it's good.
XBM, he's like, when the heck are we getting Cooking with Sori? That's true. I really, I'm not sure. I think about it sometimes, and I'm actually Vin would like that too, because then he would actually get supper instead of takeout.
Hey, what's up, Samo? Thoughts on the crowd in Philly turning on the cops? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, Tina, that sucks. It's a bummer that you're paying a lot for stuff. For your medical needs.
Hey, Carmen in his house.
Oh, really, John? Your kids are 5 and 22 months?
Yeah. Well, BM fan, I agree with you to a point. He did challenge Candace Owens on the global warming stuff. But that one was just so outrageous that it would have been a scandal if he didn't challenge her on it. But yeah.
Orion reacts to Marilyn Manson. It would be funny to have him on a reaction video to see what he would do.
That is true. Did you see Ben Shapiro?
I know what I'll do. I won't feed him, and then I'll put on Peace Cells.
Did you see Ben Shapiro say that having to work 2 jobs is a you problem? Whoa. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Ben Shapiro would say that. I mean, what can you do? His wife is a doctor. He was a lawyer before he became an international sensation. So it's easy for people who are in those positions to say that. And I don't want to take anything away from Mr. Shapiro. I'm sure he worked his ass off to get to where he is. You know, I have 2.5, almost 3 jobs between the two of us. So it's just kind of what you have to do to make ends meet in the current system we're in, unless you've got a trade like being a lawyer and a doctor that you know, that gives you guaranteed job security and all the other stuff. But cops went to serve a woman.
Death fan. Giving my 2-year-old a bath and he sees Orion, thinks it's his little brother.
It is his little brother. Cops went to serve a warrant in Philly and went south and led to an 8-hour standoff. 6 cops were shot.
Jeez.
Whoa. We should have reported on that. Good Lord. Thanks, Benson.
We love you too, Pony.
Thoughts on Trump pressuring Netanyahu and to ban Omar and company? I think that's crazy. And I think it's terrible that for whatever long that Netanyahu even listened to Trump. It's unbelievable. You know, Trump using Twitter to bully another head of state. And it's like, where's your self-respect as a head of state? If it was me, I'd be like, thank you very much, Mr. Trump. But even if I wasn't going to allow them in Israel, I am going to now, based on the fact that you try to tell me what to do in my own country. It's madness, but, you know.
Did you hear anything about this? Trump is trying to make it so that you can't get a green card unless you can prove you won't need public assistance.
Yeah. It's something that's in the back burner. I need more confirmations on it before we actually shoot an episode about it. But it's one of those things where that becomes the logical ramifications of what the law says, basically. I'd recommend watching the debate of David Pakman on Rogan. He talks to Rogan about challenging guests.
They officially ruled Epstein's death a suicide?
When was this?
When did they do that at Tosco?
Orion does not agree.
He's like, that's... Well, I guess he wouldn't say that word.
Epstein's lawyer is not satisfied with autopsy conclusions. Okay. So, yeah. Cause of death, suicide by hanging. Nobody believes that.
I don't believe that.
Nobody believes that. Yeah.
We saw that.
Yeah. Discussion's over now. Yeah. No safe freaking.
Right.
Yeah, we shot a video with Pony and Gia was there, and I slipped up, but Gia swiftly corrected me.
Yeah. Good for her.
No, I don't have a problem that Trump is speaking openly. What I have a problem with in this particular situation is that you're talking to another head of state. This is not like just an opinion. You're talking to a head of state, and it's like it's his country. He's a democratically elected leader of that country, and I just think it's out of bounds for one head of state to basically bully another head of state into doing what he wants done. He basically told them, "You're weak unless you do what I say," and I just think that that's crazy. Who's the baby? The baby is Orion. He is the first village baby. We told you guys about this little guy before we told some of our family members.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Wallah, you're pretty. You bring me a lot of happiness, huh? When I'm sad. Cookie is too cute. Oh yeah, Cookie.
Yes, Ian. I have a. Okay, wait a minute. Is this? Wait a minute. Where'd that go?
What?
There was a message from an Ian. Is that?
Is that our Ian?
Yeah, is that our Ian? Which Ian is that?
Blah. I was gonna say, is that my Ian?
Which Ian just said about the beard?
All you have to do is tell him to repost it.
Yeah, repost that.
Pac-Man is not and has never been a socialist.
Ian, any day now, right here. Is this Ian of the Village? Is that our Ian?
That's Ian.
Okay, Ian, keep your eye out because I did one of those face app things with Orion and I put a little beard on him. I'll post it. I'll put it on Instagram. Whew, it's so hot in here. He needs a puppy. Oh, he doesn't need a puppy.
Who, Orion?
Yeah. It would be super cute to have pictures of him with a puppy, but his mommy can't handle a puppy. He's one of 5 kids. There's no way.
The only one who could beat Trump in a verbal back and forth is Farrakhan. Probably. I agree. Oh, he's really kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
Vin, did you see the drone footage of Epstein Island? No, not yet. Somebody sent me a link on it, though. It's got some really weird stuff, I heard. Really, really strange stuff. He needs a baby MAGA hat.
Oh, my gosh.
Do they even have such things? A baby MAGA hat?
Yeah, I thought of that, Uncle Dan, to get a kitten because I think the kids would love it. But at the same time, nobody's going to change that litter box. And then the cat's going to start peeing all over our apartment. I'm not good with that. And secondly, those cats, they never stay off the counters. And I can't stand pet hair in my food. It grosses me out.
Burnman, I appreciate, and I've gone on record, what Trump has done in regards to North Korea. I think he's made a lot more strides in 2.5, 3 years than Obama did in 8 with North Korea. So when Trump does something well, I make sure to talk about it. And when Trump does something crazy, like telling Bibi Netanyahu who to let in his country and who not to, I also report on it. Now, of course, the other side of that, it's kind of ironic to me, is that Trump was a racist for telling these women to leave, and now he's a horrible person for telling them to stay. But, you know, it is what it is. I heard Epstein had a big painting of Clinton in...
Look, we heard the same thing.
Had a pic of Clinton wearing a blue dress and red high heels in his house. Yeah, I heard that too. Really weird stuff, guys, I gotta tell you. Hey, Ben of the Village. You have 5 kids. Yes, Ben, we have 5 kids. Your APC review is perfect, by the way. Great job. Thanks, Tasco.
Yeah, Ben, I'm keeping on top of getting the chores done. We're working together to get the kids to like get on top of their chores every single day without having to be asked. So I don't want to add the frustration of a litter box into that mess.
What are your thoughts on charity? My thoughts on charity are that we don't do enough and we should do more.
Yeah.
And when I say
we shouldn't look at it as charity, but rather we should look at it as sharing.
When I say we, I'm talking specifically about me and Sori. I can't speak for other people, but it's something we should do, and we should do more of it. We have not listened to the rest of the Slipknot album. We actually got a free digital copy of the Slipknot record, and we're going to do a live review of it probably before we go to the show next week.
Yeah, Donald, if you're trying to get into an alliance, we're going to be starting a Ronin alliance, so you can jump into that one if you're unable to get into the other ones.
You should get an Orion baby. Yeah, a Sori secret
that would be
onesie.
So cute.
You absolutely will get a full review of the new Tool record, Zombie. We're going to announce it a couple days in advance because we're anticipating that the whole thing is going to get blocked. But yeah, we'll do that. Volbeat reaction. I think we have to do Volbeat because Volbeat is opening at the Slipknot tour. So yes.
Yes, and Rachel sent. Oh, that was Rachel that said that. Rachel sent a list of them for us in Patreon for us to that there's a list of them that would be good ones to listen to. She said.
Alec, what we did was we do Compassion International. There was a controversy about Christian Charities a couple of years ago, and it was, of course, about the LGBT stuff. So what I did was I forgot what the name of the website was, but it basically ranked charitable agencies by how much actually went to the cause versus overhead. And I just said, whichever one has the best rating is the one we're going to do. So we started out with this kid named Lewis, who's actually born on Orion's birthday. And then since then, you basically, it's kids in, Lewis is in Colombia. And basically once these kids turn, 12 or 13, they get scooped up by the drug lords and things like that because they're poor and such. And it's basically dead or in jail. So we started with that guy, and then since then we've had the opportunity to expand and help more kids. So it's not just, they're not just being taught the Bible, they're being taught education, they're getting an education and life skills, and it gives them, they're getting taught English, things like that, so that when
it supports their clothes, and doesn't it?
Clothes and everything,
yeah, and stuff, and
right up to high school.
Yeah.
So, and of course it's in Colombia and things like that, so it's not like we're paying like out the wazoo for it. Like it's not like I said, we're not heroes for it because there's more that we can do. But I really like Compassion because once again, the ratio between overhead and cause versus, and also the fact that he's going to have a really good a good shot at making it in life. Whether or not he decides to be a Christian, is a separate issue, but at least he'll be educated and he'll have advantages so that he won't have to go into the lifestyle that a lot of kids did. And once we found Compassion, I said, okay, now let's find the kid that's been on it the longest, because obviously younger kids, they're cuter, people are more, and he was the oldest. He wasn't the oldest, but he had been on the list the longest. In my opinion, it should just be, if you decide to do Compassion, they get the kid that's next in line, but it's not like that. You have the pictures, you have the stories, and you have to let it be like that, because while what you're saying is very efficient, there are some people who are like, you would support the kid no matter what he looks like. Some people, they want to have a cute kid, or they want to have this kid, you know what I mean? Like, some people will only do it in a specific category, and if they're only going to do it in that category, fine, give them that category so they can stay with the support and stuff like that. Unfortunately, people are like that, so I think you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I obviously I'm not going to judge somebody who's willing to pony up the money every month to help a kid. I just the cuteness factor and all that, and so this kid is constantly getting skipped, and he's seeing all these kids around him getting it, but he's not, because he's 11 and he's big for his age. At the time he was 11 years old, and then we found out his birthday was the day after mine, and then and then Orion is born on his day, and then we've been able to adopt a couple more and things like that. So
this is cute. I bet the cutest kids get favoritism, which is sad, but Orion would be at the top of the list for charity if he needed it, because he's so cutie.
Yeah. Which one do you do, Alec? There's no such thing as a cute baby. I don't know, man. Oreo was pretty cute right out the gate.
Yes, he does. He commands the spotlight. Just look at those cheeks.
Whoa, Amnesty International, that's a good one. UNICEF, that's a good one. Against malaria. Isn't it crazy that malaria is still a thing?
I know. Where are you reading that?
Alec, the charities he donates to.
Oh, okay.
And I want to also say that the village through Patreon has supported a ton of different GoFundMe's and things like that, and Zonia has also. Well, let me be quiet. I'm just saying, I don't know. I didn't get clearance from her, but there's been a lot of other things that have happened in the village where people have been doing a lot of really, really cool stuff. And anytime we do something, it's really at this point now, it's, our patrons have joined in on that. So we do it with them too. So that's also awesome. Have you talked to Lowe's since the interview? Yeah, every once in a while. It's funny. I actually brought her up when we were hanging out with Head, and he's like, "Yo, show me that video." So I emailed it to him. So, you tired?
Oh, that's crazy. We should tell her that.
Yeah, we should.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
for her.
Yeah.
Does he smell?
I think he just pooped or...
Okay, we'll give him a few more minutes to make sure we're done.
Yeah, Tony, we talked about Bernie earlier, and I thought he did a good job. I think Bernie, I think the strongest thing about Bernie was that he presented it in a very matter-of-fact, almost dispassionate way. And I think that is effective considering the audience that, generally listens to Rogan. Dan, it's okay, Orion. I poop myself.
Too.
Yeah. We've got a couple
What's
collabs.
up, Jay?
We've got Jay. Yep, we've got Jay. We've got.
He just popped in and I just said, "Hey, Jay."
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
We've got Jay. Yeah, I love Tulsi. I think she would be a badass Secretary of State. I mean, my dream ticket right now is Bernie Warren, and then we've got Tulsi as Secretary of State, and I think we stand up an automation czar and give Andrew Yang a $50 billion budget and see what he does. That would be a dream.
Nothing, Jay. Just been chilling. What time do we have actually?
Yeah.
Leah, can you text me if you're good to do that that collab at 10:30? So like in 45 minutes.
Tulsi's dead in the water for the primary.
No, it would be 45 minutes.
Yeah. I don't see the media. The media is not going to give Tulsi a fair hearing, so I don't think she's gonna really have a shot. But her as Secretary of State would be crazy.
Yeah, Leah, I kind of think that too with Bernie.
What?
Like, I like some of the stuff that he says I think is really good, but I do feel like his time is past.
Well, I mean, he's not carrying the same type of, weight as the other ones. So, Jesus.
What happened?
I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay, so she just texted you, babe.
Oh, okay.
And Zoe wants a package of cream cheese. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I'm not. They're eating so much cream cheese. They're like, I'm like, yo, you gotta chill a little bit. But I guess there's so many of them. I guess I'll throw another pack down to them.
I mean, you don't need to.
It goes so fast. Well, There's so many of them. I can see why it was.
Hopefully you guys see this. Thanks for all you do both off and on the channel. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Benson. My issue with Bernie is him kissing the ring. What do you mean? Saying that we should vote for Hillary? I don't think that's him kissing the ring. I think he's looking at it as a lesser of two evils. What was he supposed to say? Do they dip the cream cheese in mayo? No, this is a Christian household, Leah, so no, nobody does that. Thanks, Jay. Yes, I do remember Jesus.
Yeah, me too.
And I missed that, brother. Who's calling me? Hey. What's up? Who's this? Hey, Yai, what's up? What's up, my guy?
Are you gonna put him on speaker?
Okay, what's up? What do you want to talk about? Hold on, I'm putting you on speaker right now. You know we're live, right? Hello? No, I'm talking to you. I do, just not on this forum. Right now, people are talking about Bernie, and we're also talking about our favorite charities.
I still eat the Nutella too. I'm gonna make a sorbet. I know. I was like, my God, they're white.
Yeah, we'll catch up. All right, buddy. Love you. Have a good one. Bye.
I know, Jay. Wait, Jay, when we do the review with you, what are we doing? Look, he's getting fussy now.
Who is? Well, he's probably hot, and he's probably tired.
The cute little angle is so good, not fussy at all. Then he's like,
look at that back. Look at those muscles.
Yeah, it's a good stock.
Good stock. Yeah. Majestic Demon Lord. Yeah, that's my guy. Some of the DNC verified polls to qualify for third debates don't have Tulsi's name on them. She's being screwed over by the DNC. Warren is my viable candidate choice. That's Alec. You need to try Japanese mayo. Again, BM fan, this is a Christian household, so we don't do mayo in any of its forms. My favorite... I needed some Ben Webb in my life. My favorite charity is the Ben Webb Foundation. You can donate money directly into my pockets. No overhead. You know exactly where the money's going. I love him so much. You know exactly where the money's going.
Directly into my pocket.
He's such a terrible person. Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually, I've quit Pepsi, and I'm on orange juice. And there is no correlation between mayonnaise and Pepsi. How are you? It's good to see you. You make me happy when I'm sad. Can you smile? Thank you for smiling for me. I appreciate it. Yeah. If Culpy and I ever cook for you, we will put mayo in something. Thank you very much, Rachel, for letting me know that I should never accept anything from your filthy hand.
Yeah, I saw those steaks that Culpy was cooking for you. I'm like, how lucky can you be? Vin, are you going to try to run the grill?
No. Any tremors due to lack of Pepsi? No. No tremors due to lack of Pepsi. No tremors due to lack of Pepsi.
What's the matter? You getting hot? I'll never eat anything from you. Mayonnaise is the grossest thing that was ever invented. Long-time creep looker. First time comment.
Who said that?
Right.
Long time creep looker, first time. Shaw. What's up, John? Yeah, BM fan. You got all soda last year? Mashallah. Yeah, so I'm on orange juice now. Orange juice and Gatorade. What was that one guy's name? No, that everybody kept saying on the fireside. We can't say.
You could say his first name.
Nope. Because he's in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let him say his name if he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the Mediterranean. I recommend Propel's flavored
I totally forgot about that. You announced his name multiple times.
I know.
Hey, if you want to announce yourself, go ahead and then we'll announce you. But if you don't want to, that's cool. We get it.
It's absolutely terrible.
Go with Gatorade Zero, somebody's saying. Please reveal yourself, and nobody says. He hates salad. He doesn't even eat salad.
Yeah.
Babe, where are our keys?
That's probably it's in the car. That's probably them. We've got a friend visiting over.
Yes. Have you ever seen Dennis the Menace? Kind of like that.
Yeah, he's like literally the kid is exactly like Dennis the Menace. I don't think he's a bad kid. He's a good kid.
No, he just got a lot of. A lot of energy there.
Well, he had a hard come up. So I think he's doing great. Dorian is doing a great job. Mm-hmm. I went down there to check on them, and they were all sitting quietly. And I said, "What's up, Riley?" He's like, "Well, I'm in timeout." Dorian put on a suit. I should have took a picture. He put on a suit. I'm like, "Why are you dressed up? It's 85 degrees outside." He's like, "Well, Riley's coming over. It's, you know." Was Orion a tough delivery? He's pretty stout.
He was, but not as tough as Sayla was. I pulled this guy out myself.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Don't read that.
I won't.
Does God believe in us? Yes. Yes, Benzin. God absolutely believes in us. We're going to finish the mission 100%. I believe that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so terrible.
What? Leah. There you go, Anton. Cutting back on the alcohol a little bit. That's badass. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm sure your run-of-the-mill Christians wouldn't see it that way. Wouldn't see it what way? What did BM Fan just say? They aren't Muslim phrases. They are Arabic phrases.
I think he wants you to look at him.
Oh, hi. How are you? What are you doing? Did you want my attention? You have it. And now you looked away from me.
I think I should get this guy some food.
Somebody said something about Muslim phrases. Where are the Muslim phrases? What do you think of the drug and chemical policies of America? If you say drug policies, like, are you talking about locking people away for decades for ingesting? This isn't published yet, but I forgot the name of the experiment, Alec. You probably know. It was where they gave the rats cocaine or heroin or something, and the rat died because he OD'd on it once he got addicted, and then they figured out making if they made a rat community, then the rat would choose the community over the substance and all that. I forgot which country. They completely decriminalized it and got these people some help and support. I don't believe in criminalizing anybody from being addicted to a substance. I do believe, though, that people who traffic in heroin and drugs like that ought to be put away for sure.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry. You're right.
I believe the traffickers should, but the customers, I believe, shouldn't. That's what I believe.
So one thing was, yes, Christians get upset with him using Arabic phrases. Oh man. And the other thing is,
yeah, they get mad at me.
TM, that's sad.
Funny, I was happier as a Christian. Now believing in nothing is so empty, strange. Well, TM, I mean, it's one snapshot.
Yeah.
It's one snapshot in a long movie of a long life, inshallah. Yep. So we'll see. As far as Christians being upset about my use of Arabic / Muslim phrases, I mean, you guys know me by now. I don't care. What I love about Muslim culture is the term inshallah. I love that phrase because it brings God into practical everyday life, and I love that, and I think that's something that Christians can learn from. So if it's a Muslim phrase, I mean, I don't care. They're right there, and there's biblical, there are obvious biblical passages that say that. So
there's not a call-in debate planned for tonight, but people can debate at any time. What time is it?
What's up, Dan?
Are we close to?
Yeah, I Allahu Akbar. Right. Yeah. Today is not a debate day. It's just not. Yeah. Thoughts on psychedelic experiences versus mystical experiences. This is actually a conversation that I would have had with Brian if it was just the three of us in the room. Mm-hmm. But since other people came that had just recovered from drugs and stuff, it's not a conversation I had. But I believe in body, soul, and spirit, and I believe there's an interconnection between them. So what happens to the body can affect the spirit. One example would be Charles Haddon Spurgeon, probably the greatest preacher of all time, struggled with gout. And it was so painful. He was around the 1800s. So it was so painful for Spurgeon that it would make him bedridden sometimes for weeks on end. And then because of that, he had depression. He had serious cases of major depression. I mean, if you look at his symptoms. And then because of that, he would talk about the dark night of the soul, which I would say the spirit. So my point is, in my worldview, there's an interconnectivity between body, soul, and spirit. So your body is what interacts with the physical world. Your soul is what reacts to emotional stimuli, and then your spirit is what reacts to supernatural stimuli. So when I think about DMT and things of that nature, it kind of functions as a physical gateway into the spiritual world. It's kind of like a shortcut. I do believe that people can have mystical experiences if they, for better or for worse, if they put themselves in an environment, in a situation where they can have those mystical experiences naturally and not synthetically. But that takes a lot of spiritual work, whereas DMT seems to be a fast track in order to get there. And what's interesting is, from a biblical perspective, the word witchcraft in the New Testament, or sorcery rather in the New Testament, is the Greek word pharmakeia, which has obvious implications. So that's my perspective on mystical experiences versus, drug-induced ones.
Sonia said, translated, brain, brain, and brain.
Well, yeah, sure. Could you just say it in English? It's like the same as getting a Japanese symbol instead of writing water. I could say it in English, or I could say Deo Valente, or I could say Inshallah. Arabic is also a very beautiful poetic language. And so the other thing is, because it's not my first language, when I say it, I have to kind of think for a half a second because it's not my native language. And that's kind of the point of what I'm trying to do for myself, is that I want to think about what I'm saying. So, to say God willing, it's English, you can kind of not really have to think about what you're saying. But if I say Inshallah, it's not my native language, so I have to think about what I'm saying. And to me, it's a way of not losing the essence of what I'm trying to vocalize. I'm still a little confused between the difference between the spirit and the soul. Yeah, Ian. So am I, but this is my best shot. I'll just try to whittle it down to stimuli. So the body reacts to physical stimuli, the soul reacts to emotional stimuli, and the spirit reacts to supernatural stimuli. So like walking into the middle of some house that you've never been to, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, something's wrong here. Then you find out it's been some Native American burial ground, and you know it's been haunted and stuff like that. Like that's your spirit reacting to supernatural stimuli. So that's how I would try to define it. Silver Kyrie in the house.
Yep. It's been going on for like 45 minutes. We're here till 10:30.
Yep, and then we got Pony.
No, not Pony. We have Leah.
Leah. Sorry. When is the next Bible bash? The next Bible bash, I don't know. I don't know what we agreed on. You'd have to talk to Zonia or Ian about that. I don't run the Bible bashes, so I'm just a guy. Does conscience equal soul? Yeah, probably I would say that.
Wait, what time is it?
10:06.
Okay. I'm gonna run and grab milk. We'll be right back.
What's Christians' issues with yoga? I don't know any Christians that have issues with yoga, so I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know a lot of Christians who do yoga. I'm responding to an email, guys. So in your worldview, the soul is a part that's all you, and the spirit is a part that connects to God, the supernatural realm. Yes, I would say that. Although, like for example, Ian, so if I'm at church and I'm in a moment I'm having a moment with God, sometimes I'll raise my hand, right? So what's happening, and or you'll cry or whatever, right? So what's happening is my spirit is connecting with God, right? That's the supernatural. And then I'm so overcome with that it bleeds into the emotions, and then I get emotional, and then I raise my hands. That's the physical. So there's an interplay with all three of them. So it works that way. And so to divide all those is extremely difficult to do, right? From our perspective, but there's interplay there. Yeah, if you're interested in the Bible boogies, it's Zonia and Ian. They're the big bosses there. I'm just a guy in that one. Yoga pants are proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. I could go. I agree. Soul, spirit, same thing. Dan, as a matter of fact, most Christians will tell you soul and spirit is the same thing. I don't believe that, and I've got biblical reasons as to why. Vin, how the hell did you not understand Bismillah and think it was Italian? I have no idea, Tejas. I have no idea. An atheist heads up regular Bible studies. Go figure. I have not seen the Bible bashes. Is that a different channel? Well, as I said, talk to Zonia about the Bible bashes. Zonia and Ian are in the room. The difference between the two, Dan, in my estimation, is that the soul speaks to the emotion, the personality of the person, and the spirit deals with the part of the person that interacts with the supernatural. So when I ask people, have there ever been experiences that you've had that you can't explain or put your name on, or ever had a feeling that you've had that you can't explain and put your name on that you didn't think was from this world? That's the spirit. Why do Protestants dislike the wearing of the rosary but seem to have no problem with the wearing of a normal crucifix? I'm Protestant and I want a rosary. Well, I'm a Protestant and I wear a rosary regularly. I have an extra one. I'll send it to you if you want it. I love my rosary. Martin Luther, who kind of led up the Protestant Reformation, loved his rosary. So, Protestants, in my opinion, overreact to anything that they conceive as Catholic, and I think it's silly. But a lot of it just has to do with ignorance of church history, to be honest with you. I've never had any of those experiences. Okay, Dan. I want to join the Bible bashes, but don't have a Bible. Is my copy of The Lord of the Rings close enough? Look, if you end up in a Bible bash, Silver Kyrie, I will find a way for Lord of the Rings to be pertinent. Do you want to lose in Madden? I would destroy you. I would destroy you in Madden now, Culpy. I'm in the 6th percentile for ranking. Catholicism is inherently evil. Okay. I'm Southern Baptist. We think everyone's going to hell. Do you think there should be denominations in church or no? No, obviously, I don't believe we should have denominations. The term denomination literally means division. And I don't believe, I believe that as the church progresses, the denominations will be eliminated. That's what I believe. Thank you, TM. I appreciate it. Lord of the Rings has a ton of Christian influences. Don't tell her, Tony. Had a few near-death experiences, so I'm spiritual. True. Just became a Patreon. Left a message on the community page there. Thanks, Chaotic Old Boar. I appreciate it. Culp is the best alliance leader and asset to your community. Don't lose him. Yeah, he's also a pretty good friend, too. I was looking for you all about 2 weeks ago every day, Culpy. I was ready to crush you. If I hadn't taken LSD and mushrooms, I'd still be an atheist, but I'm agnostic because those drugs show me that there is something else at work. Still don't like the religious construct. I get you, Tasco. I completely get you. If I didn't meet Jesus at a very, 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 very young age, I would... As you could see from the last couple videos I shot, I wouldn't be... Later, TM, I wouldn't be an evangelical. All religion is inherently evil by my estimation. You can't believe in an outer moral influence and act morally. It's impossible. I don't know what that means. There was a haunted mental hospital in my state. First place I ever felt absolute terror. The serious word of the hospital was a large, weird, cynical shape. Made me sick to look at it. Well, yeah. And BM fan, a person can say, oh, it's all in your head, blah, blah, blah. I just say that the terror that you felt was spiritual terror because you were interfacing with spiritual darkness. And so, that's where I would categorize that stuff. And you might have known it was a haunted hospital, but there's a lot of people who end up in places and have no idea about the history, but get that sense. And I'm sorry, but you can't say that's all in your brain. Anyone ever been to a Pentecostal service? You won't think any other denomination is crazy after that. It makes them all seem sane. Tejas, I agree. Yeah. What do you think about Ghost? You mean the band Ghost? I think that the singer is it's a very, very talented concept. It just seems to get a little repetitive after a while, as far as what they do. But I got a lot of respect for their style. I consider myself a deist, so I'm not opposed to the metaphysical. Yeah, BM fan, you know too much to be to run around and call yourself an atheist. You know, the songs that you recommend are pretty deep and complex theologically, that most Christians would have no clue what you're talking about. Like that kenosis song from Decibel Omega. So, you know the deal. It's very convenient to be a deist. There's a God, he's out there, but he's not really worried about what I'm doing. Was Jesus Christ a drug addict? Unless you believe that God is a drug, then no. I was forced to take mandatory religious type classes for this Jesuit university I was enrolled at. I actually found it interesting. Am I familiar with animism? Yes. Hey, Jonathan Melton, like you were like one of the original guys. You were actually the reason, Melton, that I created the Middle America channel in the first place. You probably don't even know that, but it's true. Yeah, Ben Webb, like we discussed in the Bible Bash, God's goal is not for you to do good things because there's a gun to your head. God doesn't use the carrot or the stick to motivate people in the scripture as a whole. He uses the concept of just love of neighbor for the sake of love of neighbor. I just want to get out of Babylon, man. I agree. You haven't reacted to Mudvayne in too long. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get past this. Let's see if I'm back. Are we back? I'm turning off everybody's internet connection. Let's see if that works. I'm back. Whoa! Salam alaikum. That's crazy. Ben, in other words, you've made no moral decisions ever on your own. You've never acted morally. You've been influenced to act systemically. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I guess every American has never acted morally either because we have a prison system. That's a non sequitur, Ben. That doesn't follow. Furthermore, as I've told you, hell doesn't influence my behavior at all because hell is a non-issue for me. I'm not going there, and I know I'm not going there. So that doesn't influence whether or not I do something or bad. You refuse to react to. Well, I'm not going to mention their name. I'm not going to mention their name. So The Nazi just commented to me saying he isn't a Nazi. Bro, if it's a gay, if it's SN, he's absolutely 1000% a Nazi. If he's not a Nazi, he's got Nazi ideology. I love the brother. I hope he repents, but come on. See that coming. Much love, Ian. JG. 10-minute warning, guys, and it's got to be a Sori level 10-minute warning because we got a video to shoot with Leah of the Village. Well, M-Death fan, this particular person is an actual Nazi, though. It's not one of those, Trump is a Nazi. Like, this person is an actual, real live Nazi. That is jacked, bro. All Out Life is not on the record because they didn't want to give. That's terrible. If that's true, I'm not sure it's true or not, but good lord. That's pretty terrible. Well, Silver, it's because she obviously does not believe that the scripture when it says that all of us are born hating God. So then she gets surprised when she hears stuff like that. I don't get surprised when I hear stuff like that because, um, you know, people are born God haters. If you shared the faith, you would know how sacred the crucifixion of Jesus is, and to see somebody making light of it or making a joke of it is is pretty terrible and hurtful. But at the same time, you have to know human nature, and you have to understand that what the Bible says about human nature, in my experience, has been true. So that's probably why she'd be upset. Second of all, death or jail. I am not a fan of Israel's treatment of the Palestinians or Israel's treatment or characterization of anybody who dissents with their. It's kind of like this thing where if you're against Obama, you were a racist. Anytime somebody says anything critical of Israel, automatically you're anti-Semitic. I don't believe that Ilhan saying it's all about the Benjamin's baby was an anti-Semitic statement. I don't believe that. All of us have been decrying the PACs and super PACs and their ability to influence Washington. So the Israelis are no different. So I'm not a real big fan of the way that Israel deals with people right now. What's your reaction to Fredo CNN? At the end of the day, these guys are human beings, and so they've got their own issues and things of that nature. I think a lot of times, I think doing this channel and seeing how sometimes people reacting to us when they meet us in real life, like we were hanging out, we were doing more recordings for other things, and somebody messaged us, and we had like a block of 5 minutes between shooting, so we called him on video chat, and he went berserk. I mean, he's 16, 17-year-old kid, but like, we're just normal people. And so it kind of made me go, oh, okay. So like when you see these people on TV, they're just normal people. So the guy caught him in a bad day, and he said, he called him Fredo, and apparently that's a slur. I didn't know that. And, he went ballistic on the guy. Like I said, if you guys were to catch me in certain situations in the last couple of weeks, you'd be like, yo, who is that? That's not the, so I kind of give him some latitude. Do you think that hell is eternal? Yes, I believe that hell is eternal. We're actually going to do a Bible boogie on hell in 3 weeks from now. So, yeah. I am that I am is the most hardcore biblical line ever. 1000%. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Stephen, if Ilhan used the "you're a racist for disagreeing with me" card. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm just saying that the Israelis use it too. You know, so uh, the Israelis use that a lot, and they use it very effectively, I must say. Oh, I agree, Tosco. It's there are a lot of Israelis who are disgusted with the way that they're treating other people and things like that. It's the far right version of Israel. I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, that interview where he had Anderson Cooper tearing up. Yeah, I've got like a semi-famous Catholic friend who is actually the first one to show it to me. It's pretty cool. He's like trying to get me to convert to Catholicism. I'll never do that, but um, I'm more about historical Christianity, right? Like the church did not look like your average Southern Baptist, Sunday, you know, production. And, I don't want to come off the wrong way, but it didn't look like a standard modern Roman Catholic production either. But there are elements to um, that I think that even modern evangelical church has missed because they're worried about it being Catholic. Yeah, I mean the UN, unless you want to say that the UN are all liars and they're part of this giant anti-Semitic cabal, they have reported snipers legitimately targeting journalists, children, medics, etc. That's a fact. Um, so I mean, some pretty terrible stuff. There is no unrighteous, no, not one was a pretty hardcore biblical line. Yeah, that's a big one. Vin, I have a guy I just met that has a story on the ground from East Jerusalem. I will DM you. We talked for like an hour outside a gas station the other night. Yeah, DM me. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Israel deserves more leeway in how they deal with people. They are surrounded by nations that seek their destruction. Well, I don't believe that Jordan wants to destroy Israel. I don't believe that Lebanon wants to destroy Israel. I don't know what you're talking about. I hear this line a lot that they're surrounded by people who want to destroy them. Uh, no, I don't think that that's true. I'm Protestant, but I love me some orthodoxy. I love some mysticism. I agree. Blue Sky, it doesn't say you can beat your slave. What it says is that the penalties are different for slaves than for native born people in the Old Testament. And what I tell you about the Old Testament is that um, the Old Testament law does not present God's ideal world. And Jesus explicitly said that in Matthew chapter 19. Many of the concessions in the Old Testament law, Jesus said, were due to our hardness of heart, not because this was God's vision for the world. When Jesus shows up, now God says, okay, now we've got the perfect example, because you got to understand Moses was not the perfect example. Moses couldn't even make it into the promised land because he was so nasty. So God killed Moses. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that, but God actually killed Moses. That's how he died. And the text goes out of its way to say that his eyes were still strong and he still had his strength about him. Because the point that author's trying to say is this dude did not die of old age. He died because God killed him. So um, the point is, in the Old Testament economy, we never had a perfect example, and we didn't have the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, who gives you the power to live the way that we should. Now, in the New Testament, because we have the perfect example of Christ and the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, we're held to a higher standard than Old Testament people were. That's why when I talk about immigration, when I'm pleading with Christians, what I'm saying is our current immigration policy is less merciful than in the Old Testament. And the Old Testament was written for hard-hearted people. So what does that say about us? Right? uh, how do you feel? Did a lot of your fans are atheists and do not share the same belief as you are, but love the fact of y'all's belief? Yeah, Dakota, I thought, when we meet people, I want to, you guys might have saw me looking at my phone about 10 minutes ago. I was responding to an email. We get them almost every day. I'm an atheist. I'm still an atheist, but I love what you guys do. I don't believe it's our mission to convert people. I do have an agenda, and my agenda is to love as many people as possible the best that I can. Um, and so it's very interesting. When we first started the channel, we got a lot of people saying, leave your faith out of it, blah, blah, blah. And I just said no, because that's who I am. And I don't believe my LGBT friends should hide who they are. And I'm certainly not going to hide who I am. It's part and parcel of who I am as a person. So at the beginning, I just say no. They'd say, well, I'll leave your channel. I said, go with God. That's fine. But I'm not going to compromise who I am. So that's what it was in the beginning. But then as we started working, more and more people started saying, wait a second, and so we started getting those types of reactions. I was shocked by it at first, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe it. The first, yo, sorry, look at this. And then they just started pouring in, and now we get those types of things every day. And I'm grateful for it, because at minimum, what it means is that people at some level feel loved by us. And, the more and more I see in the world, the more I have a value on that. I just want people to feel loved by us somehow. So. I don't think you'd. How could a pacifist support Sharia? Would like Vin's response. Well, Sharia in Arabic simply means law. I know a lot of people codify that as Islamic law, but Sharia actually just means law. So, um, we have Sharia here that isn't always. We have, in my mind, an unjust war policy, and we systematically destroy and kill 3,000 kids a day. So I'm not really familiar with I don't know what angle you're talking about as far as Sharia go. Secondly, I don't completely support any Sharia except for Christian Sharia. So everybody has a Sharia. You have secular Sharia, you have Islamic Sharia. Obviously, as a Christian, I believe that the Sermon on the Mount is the ultimate Sharia that we should follow, and I believe that we will follow it eventually, voluntarily, by the way, not by compulsion or force. There is no compulsion in religion. Truth is plain from error. I just quoted the Quran there. So that's my perspective on it. Yeah, BM fan. I love you too, my guy. Yeah. Zonia is an advocate for atheism and nihilism, but she along with Ian are in control of the Bible boogies. I promise you, I'm not. Um, Zonia can tell you I got outvoted on a particular situation. So, um, Zonia, when you sent me the results of that poll, I was backstage talking to Brian, so it was a perfect time. I wasn't judging you, person. I wasn't judging you. I was just using that as an opportunity to encourage other Christians to not get so higgledy piggledy when their unbelieving friends say things that might be hurtful. You ever listen to Don Preston? He's a big preterist on YouTube. Yeah, I've listened to Don Preston. I don't go as far as he does with his preterism because I'm not a full preterist, but he's definitely he's a bad man as far as being able to advocate his point. That's for sure. Right, Kellen. That's what I'm trying. Thanks, Jay. Thank you. What's up, Ernie Eastman? Me and Kel lose our shit often. I bet. I've told people like, don't don't uh, don't watch me so much because some people I tend to have a tough effect on a couple people. So I don't know why that is, but it kind of happens. But anyway, um, I think I'm waiting for Sori to show up so that we could do this recording. I'm waiting for it. So until Sori shows up, I guess we can extend the chat if you guys are willing to hang out. Okay, Chris, you're a Gnostic atheist. What's up, my guy? Why is Obama worse than Trump? Well, I'm not a fan of Obama's 26,000 drone bombings. I'm not a fan of the fact that Obama was the one that built those cages that we're all upset about, rightly upset about. I'm not a fan of him being the deporter in chief. I'm not a fan of him killing Anwar al-Awlaki with extrajudicial loopholes in our constitution and then killing his son 8 months later, who was only 16 years old. I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. I think that stuff is extremely dangerous, and it was hidden by the fact that he was the first black president and all the rest of it. Obama did some really, really terrible things. He promised to close Guantanamo. He did not do so. So he did a lot of terrible things. I appreciate what he tried to do with healthcare. Yes, it left 30 million people uninsured, and I think that's a crime. However, at least he tried to do something. I don't believe anybody's a totality of anything. I don't believe Obama's totally evil. And I don't believe that, the best of us are totally good. There's none good but God. So that's kind of my perspective on Obama. There's a lot of really terrible things that he did that he didn't have to do. Are internet ordained ministers legal? They better be, because Sori and I got married by one. So they better be. They better be legit. Yeah, I'm not a full preterist. I'm a partial preterist. I still believe in a literal physical bodily resurrection at the end of the age. So what's up, Milan? Good to see you, buddy. What about Lionel Messi? I'm a fan of what's that guy, Ronaldo? I like him. He seems more intense when I like players that are like very intense. That's why I love Tom Brady. He's got that intensity about him. Me personally, I can't follow a guy that doesn't have some like maniacal intensity and a will to win. So Messi's he just kind of looks like, hey, I'm here, but I heard he's a badass. I heard he's the greatest. But for me personally, I like Ronaldo's intensity. I've never heard a Christian use so many Islamic terms to describe his Christianity. What denomination are you? I don't know what denomination I am, to be honest with you. I just say, I follow Jesus, the best that I can. So I don't know. Maybe I should become an ordained minister. Wouldn't that be hilarious? No, Zonia, it wouldn't be hilarious. I think you'd be an awesome minister. 100%. And I pray for it. And it'll happen, inshallah. We'll see. Brady sucks. Yeah, I mean, if sucking is winning a record 6 titles in the most difficult sport to win a title in, sure, Brady sucks. Vin, if you do Volbeat, I recommend Seal the Deal. I think you two will enjoy it. Yeah, that's the one I'll do. I'll do Seal the Deal because we got to do a Volbeat song because they're going to open up for everybody. Yeah, I'm Deaf Fan. I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm looking forward to it. Can you imagine a day living in a world where we don't have to question the origin or the proper way to live our life, true education, and the ability to imagine our true potential? Yeah, man. I believe it's going to happen. Vin, I heard you say you were a big afterlife person. What do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is, there's the evangelical sort of like, okay, here's a context I grew up in, okay? The context I grew up in was Jesus is going to come back by the year 2000. We're going to get raptured out of here. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. It's only going to get worse and worse. So, like, hunker down, be as holy as you can so you don't miss the rapture. Or if you die in a car accident, you can go to heaven. And it was just very otherworld focused, either escaping through the rapture or escaping through death. And the world is going to hell and screw all those people. They get what they get. And so I definitely believe in an afterlife for sure. I believe that there's a heaven to be gained and a hell to be avoided, as the old school preachers would say. But when I look at the teachings of Jesus, they're very this world focused and what you do with the person in front of you, and loving the person in front of you and loving your enemy and actually tangibly doing something in this world to make it better and alleviate suffering. So one example of this sort of mindset to me is, and I think I'm okay to talk about it now, but there was a young man who, he's 26 years old. I guess at 26 years old, you get, aged out of your parents' insurance. And so he was getting insulin because he was a diabetic, and he got aged out. He turned 26 and he was engaged to be married, and the insulin was $1,200 a month. And obviously he was like a veterinarian supervisor or something. He was making like $16.74 an hour. So he couldn't afford it. So what he did was he went and got a Walmart version of insulin, which only cost him $25, and he ended up dying. And so I was talking about how terrible that was, and all the human cost, and saying we've got to do something about this, Medicare for all, or go after the insurance companies, or whatever we need to do. We need to make this the last needless death. And a Christian responds to me, and I love the guy. He's my brother, and I'm riding with him. I'm not gonna disassociate myself from him. But he basically said, I mean, who cares? I mean, if you knew Jesus, he's in heaven. No big deal. That mentality is what I mean when I say I'm not a big afterlife person, because now you're so stuck on the afterlife that you're not doing anything to alleviate human pain and suffering in this life, and that is not the message of Jesus. The message of Jesus is that you use everything. There's a scripture that says, you are bought with a price, so glorify God with your body. And I think that's so important, because what it means is that there are things that you can do in the world with your body that glorify God, not, going into the spiritual netherworld. It's this life, and you do things in life with your body in on terra firma that affects the lives of other people. So, I'm probably prone to hyperbole. So, obviously I care about people's afterlife. There's people in this forum who, whether they want me to or not, I pray for them constantly, and I pray for them to have a revelation of God and Jesus Christ, and I want to see them in the next world and things of that nature. I think about the next world often, but what I verbalize in public forums that could possibly be seen by thousands of people is a very this world oriented understanding of the kingdom of God. So that's why I say I'm not a very big afterlife person.
You ready to do that review?
Yes. Sori's back. Vin's gonna dump us like a bad date. You are 100% correct. You're 100% correct. It used to be even younger. Obama raised it to 26. Well, okay, so that's something that Obama did well, because that means that we have less people dying because they're aged out of their parents' insurance. What about the second coming of Christ? I believe that Christ is coming back. I believe that. But I'm a post-millennialist, Death Fan. So I believe that Christ is going to come back to a redeemed and saved world.
Sori, tell us the truth. Did you have to chase him onto the roof? What roof?
Who? Orion?
I don't know. I thought maybe you told a story. Wait, you are gonna have to tell us right here. Heimdall's Gate.
Huh?
Did you have to chase him onto the roof?
I don't know.
Did you use that phrase? Say it again. What you mean?
I don't know what they mean.
I don't know either. I thought maybe you told some story or something. Ooh, it's hot in here. Your people are used to this weather. Mine are not.
Yeah, you're. I just caught that. If I become a minister, I'll have possibly the first crust punk church choir.
Oh, man.
I want to see it, Kyrie. There is a black metal song that is absolutely going on my worship playlist. We just released it about 2 hours ago, and it's absolutely going on my worship playlist for sure. I'm going to go out in the woods and put that song on. It's like the best song about nature ever. Blake, I need you to coordinate with Sori so that we can do our collab.
He said I was just kidding because he looks like a climber that you'd have to chase. Oh, I think he will be. Right now, he can't, like... I think his mind is further along than his body, and he gets really angry about it. Because I'll put him in stuff that is, like, older. Like, we got this... Somebody got him this little Einstein play set that he sits in, and there's all kinds of stations for him to play. And so I put him in there, and I sit with him, and he plays at the different PlayStations that usually they're not really interested in until 6 months. But he's like wanting the toys to do certain things, and when they don't, and he keeps trying, he gets so angry about it, and all of a sudden he'll be like, "Ah!" I'm like, okay, he's had enough of that trying. But I think once he's able to start moving around and like, because he's only 3 months right now, he looks like a giant 6-month-old, but he's not. So I think once he starts crawling around, he's going to be everywhere and into everything.
That's racist. He's implying that your baby is a ninja. Everything is racist.
Racism. He's implying that your baby's a ninja. You can be a little ninja baby.
Which song, Silver Kyrie? You know, did we mention this? But like when we were leaving and we were trying to get out of the venue, we ran into the Under Oath guy. I'm like, hey, you're the Under Oath guy.
Yep. All right, ready? We must depart, babe.
Yes.
Let's say goodbye.
Yes.
Let's say goodnight. I know it's hard for you, but we have Leah waiting for us. It's not Avita Zane forever.
Right. Okay.
We're coming right back on.
So here's what I'll say. Had a rough couple days due to the reviews, honestly, as well as the situation I talked about before. I was in a pretty terrible mood. Shout out to Ian and Carmen for reaching out, checking up on a brother. And thank you all for hanging out. And thank you, Ben, for being Ben. You know, I needed you to be you with your horrible self. And I appreciate it. No, it was good. It was good. You guys cheered me up. And, you know, every once in a while, people need their friends, right? So I appreciate you guys for that. So thank you for that. But right now, I have to say goodbye. Avita Zane, love you all. Take care of each other. And, well, I guess this is the Middle America channel, but it wasn't a Middle America episode, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Somebody said something.
Somebody's always saying something, babe.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I seriously have to go. My wife is going to strangle me to death. So, Culpy.
No, I'm just going to take your ribs out of the oven and throw them on the floor.
Culpy, hit me up later.
Just kidding, obviously.
Culpy, hit me up later, my guy, so we can play. Inshallah, we'll be able to play.
The light goes off because it's actually the computers that are lighting us up. So when they sit too long, they shut down. Thank you, Art. You just super chatted.
Hey, Art Perez.
See you on Patreon, buddy.
You have a beautiful family. You should never be depressed. That's kind of the problem. Like, I've got this beautiful family. I got this beautiful community. To my knowledge, nobody's got diabetes. And then this woman just lost her husband, and this mother just lost her son. And mothers should never bury their sons. And so sometimes that gets me down a little bit. But I'm hopeful for the future. So there's that. Zonia is going to be a minister, and then
I would go to her study for sure.
100%.
I said that the other day when we were on our drive.
When we were on our drive, correct. And then Silver Kyrie is going to do the choir.
Nice.
So there's that.
Okay, babe. I'll end this for you.
I just posted the link of that young man who died, so you guys can check it out if you'd like.
All right. Much love. We love you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good